In June 2020, I decided to travel to Florence, in Italy, immediately after the country had reopened its borders. In this video, I want to show you what travel in Italy is like now and share my top 15 things to do in Florence during the new normal. Here we are, this is Piazza della Signoria, the very heart of Florence. I'm so excited to be here. I love this city, I love this square. It's absolutely amazing that I'm back here. The Piazza della Signoria has been the center of local life in Florence since the 13th century. Its main landmark is the Palazzo Vecchio, Florence's city hall. Next to the entrance of Palazzo Vecchio, there are two statues, one of Hercules by Bandinelli and a copy of the world-famous David by Michelangelo. And then here on this side is the Loggia dei Lanzi, which is basically an open-air gallery with Renaissance masterpieces. And you can see here, usually these restaurants, of course, will be filled with tourists, but they're closed. And there's no one there. Just a few locals hanging out on the piazza. After a bit of research, I found a traditional restaurant that was open. This is panzanella. It's a Florentine salad that's made with bread. And this is probably the most famous dish from Florence, bistecca alla fiorentina. It's a massive T-bone steak, as you can see, grilled. Wow. Can't wait to try this. Florence at night is just so beautiful. Incredible. Let's head out and discover Florence. After buying my tickets, I went to visit one of the most famous sites of Florence. The Duomo is the most iconic landmark of Florence. Its construction was begun in 1296 and took almost 150 years. The cathedral is most famous for the distinctive red-tiled cupola and its pink, white and green marble facade. So we are inside the Duomo now, inside this magnificent church. And they have a solution here to guarantee social distancing that I've never seen before. So basically you get this little thing here, this little box that you have to wear around your neck. And if you get too close to someone, it will start ringing to tell you that you need to keep the distance of 1.50 meters or 2 meters. So this is pretty cool, a very interesting solution. I've never seen anything like this before during my new normal travels. So this is what it does when you get too close to someone. Next to the main building of the cathedral are the elegant campanile, the bell tower, and the battistero, the baptistry. The battistero is most famous for its precious decorated doors, and its interior gleams with Byzantine-style golden mosaics. After my visit to the Duomo, I walked over to the Uffizi and was a bit surprised to see that no one was waiting in line. The Galleria degli Uffizi is home to the greatest collection of Italian Renaissance art in the world. Some of the highlights of the collection include Botticelli's The Birth of Venus, Botticelli's Spring, Michelangelo's depiction of the Holy Family, Leonardo da Vinci's Annunciation, and Raphael's Madonna of the Goldfinch. The architecture of the building is just as dazzling, with long corridors, a beautiful ceiling, and amazing views of the Arno River and the Ponte Vecchio. Most of the collection was originally in the possession of the powerful Medici family, who ruled Florence for several centuries. And we're just left the Uffizi. Wow, so if you're into art, this is of course a must-see, and the experience is so different because there's almost no people. So I had some parts of the museum almost to myself. pretty incredible. All right, it's time to go for a little walk. We're gonna hike up a hill close to the center of Florence for amazing views, and I think it's gonna be really cool. And we made it. This is Piazzale Michelangelo, and the views, I think they're definitely incredible.
Looking so handsome.
The spectacular Piazzale Michelangelo offers one of the best views of the city of Florence. Just like the Palazzo Vecchio in the center, it features a copy of Michelangelo's David. The square is particularly impressive in the early evening. This is an amazing spot to watch the sunset. So romantic. After taking in the sunset views, I took the bus to get to my next destination. That was quite a bus ride. Felt more like a race. And of course, massacre of obligatory on the bus. Whew. All right, now that we survived the bus ride, let's continue on to the Osteria. This prosciutto con melone, like it's ham with melon, it's so delicious. It's a Tuscan specialty. And here we got another great traditional Tuscan dish. So these are spaghetti alla carrettiera. They're slightly spicy and super yummy. You can tell they're prepared with fresh spices. So good. And a dessert, this is the torta della casa. Oh, it's really cool. It has these pine nuts inside here. So nice. Da Ruggero, I highly recommend this trattoria. It was one of the best meals I've had in Italy so far. Check it out when you're in Florence. I've been joking with my friends at home that I'm kind of doing the eat part of the Eat, Pray, Love movie with Julia Roberts at the moment, because the food that I'm having on this trip is just outstanding. As I walk back home towards my hotel, I passed another famous site of Florence. This is the Palazzo Pitti, another art museum. We're just passing on the way home. Palazzo Pitti was commissioned by the wealthy banker Luca Pitti in 1458. It later became the home of the Medici, and in 1865 the palace sheltered the Italian royal family, when Florence briefly became the capital of the newly unified Kingdom of Italy. Today, the palace is an important art museum, and the Boboli Gardens right behind it are one of the most beautiful parks of the city. After a short walk, I arrived at the next site. So we are now crossing Florence's most iconic bridge. It's the Ponte Vecchio. That means Old Bridge in Italian. And this bridge is especially famous for the jewelry shops on each side. As its name suggests, the Ponte Vecchio is the oldest remaining bridge of Florence. Its current form dates back to 1345. Butchers and tanners initially occupied the shops on the bridge, but in 1593 the Medici banned them from the bridge because of the bad smell, and since then, only goldsmiths and jewelers are allowed to open shops here. Good morning! It's a beautiful, if somewhat cloudy day in Florence, and we're gonna discover some more of the major attractions of the city today. I started my day by visiting the Galleria dell'Accademia. Alright, so we're about to meet someone extremely famous now, world famous even. I'll give you a little hint. He's a guy about 5 meters tall and incredibly handsome. Want to know who it is? Well, take a look. Michelangelo's David is the most famous statue in the world. It was carved from a single block of marble already worked on by 2 sculptors. The subtle detail and unparalleled perfection of this enormous work of art is breathtaking. Michelangelo's David was first revealed to the public on Piazza della Signoria in 1504, and Florentines immediately adopted David as an emblem of power, liberty, and civic pride. The Galleria dell'Accademia also houses Michelangelo's unfinished Prigioni statues, a collection of plaster models, and paintings by Florentine artists of the late Middle Ages and the Renaissance. Alright, and here's an important lesson when you're visiting museums during the new normal. Always make sure you check the opening times beforehand, because I did, and that's how I knew that this museum, Galleria dell'Accademia, would only be open until 2 p.m. So unfortunately some museums have really random opening times at the moment, or they close super early. So always make sure to check first before going. Yeah, that way you'll be spared some bad surprises. After a quick lunch break with a tasty tomato and mozzarella sandwich, I continued my exploration of Florence with the Museo delle Cappelle Medici. This place in the Cappelle Medici had some of the strictest safety precautions that I've seen so far in Italy. I basically look like I'm about to take someone's kidney or something. I'm all dressed up like a surgeon with the gloves and everything. Alright, but now we're gonna visit the Medici chapels. The Cappelle Medici, or Medici chapels, are the final resting place of 49 members of the Medici dynasty. I first visited the dark and imposing Cappella dei Principi, and then continued to the Sacrestia Nuova, which is most famous for Michelangelo's statues of Night and Day and Dusk and Dawn. Let me take off my surgeon outfit with the gloves and everything. So yeah, well worth a visit. Actually much more impressive than I thought. These Cappelli Medici, incredible, they're so beautiful. I walked over to another one of Florence's most famous sites. The Basilica di Santa Maria Novella is the oldest great basilica of Florence and hosts a multitude of art treasures behind its colorful Renaissance facade. Some of the most impressive masterpieces inside the church are the frescoes per Ghirlandaio in the Cappella Maggiore and a luminous painted crucifix by Giotto. After visiting the Basilica di Santa Maria Novella, I decided to relax a bit at the Giardino Bardini. This 17th century garden features beautiful views of Florence. It is an extremely picturesque place with marble statues and several fountains. Next, I walked over to the Gelateria La Carraia, which is one of the best ice cream shops in all of Florence. This gelateria is so popular, they have to come up with a system where you have to draw a number so that they know which place in line you have. Alright, I just got out of the shop, and that's why I'm wearing the mask. And I got the ice cream and it looks amazing. Let's see what it tastes like. Yeah, I would say that shop highly deserves its reputation as the best ice cream shop in Florence. It's just incredibly good, this ice cream. Wow. One of the things that are really nice about visiting Florence is that the city is so walkable, so you can basically walk almost to any site on foot, and it will usually be faster or just as fast as taking public transport. So that's a great advantage if you want to come visit Florence. Alright, I went briefly back to the apartment to change before going out, and now we're gonna head out to a part of the city with lots of bars to have a few drinks. So we're now in a part of town that's called Santa Croce, and there's the Via dei Benci, which is particularly famous for bars, restaurants, and for having aperitivo. So let's check it out. This is a very interesting poster. It says Florence is being reborn, and people only saw the city from the windows for 2 months, and now they're able to go outside again. And it's time for the most typical Italian drink for aperitivo. It's a spritz Aperol. Oh, it's absolutely delicious. It's Prosecco mixed with Aperol and a bit of water. It's so good. Wow, I've never been to this part of Santa Croce. I must say it looks super nice. There's so many cool restaurants around here. Wow. I decided to have dinner at the Osteria Pizzaiolo. And of course, since we're in Italy, it's really time to get a pizza now. I got one of my personal favorites, the Pizza Diavola. It's hot salami, and in this case it also has olives. That's some really good pizza, and it has a typical Italian dough, which is kind of really thin and almost melts in your mouth. Delicious. This delicious pizza only costs $9.50 including water, so it's really not expensive at all. It's about $11, so great deal at the Pizzaiolo. This Pizzaiolo pizzeria was really good, but as you can see behind me, there's so many restaurants in the street. I'll put the link in the description so you can find the street easily. It looks great and there's only locals. So those are my recommendations for Florence. What are yours? If you're from there or if you've been there before, please make sure to leave tips and advice in the comment box below this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Max Nomad for new travel videos published every day. I'm Max Nomad, and I will talk to you again soon.